Hi, and welcome to Module 3, Processing Text for NLP. Here's what you'll learn about in this module. In the first section, you'll learn about the major steps you'll take when processing text for your natural language processing application. The next section describes how to extract text from various sources. The third section walks through some of the most common ways to process text. The next section describes how to accomplish the important task of converting text to numbers. Section 5 explores some more advanced forms of text processing. And finally, Section 6 describes the differences between structured and unstructured data and reviews 3 different AWS services you can use to store data for your NLP application. Okay, it's time to get started. At the end of this module, you should be able to define the processing steps for text, implement text extraction to obtain data from web pages, identify tokenizers for text processing, describe the techniques and tasks used in processing tasks, list the advanced processing steps for NLP, and finally, identify the storage services for text in AWS. This section provides an overview of text processing. As you saw in the previous module, the first stage of your NLP application is loading and processing text. You can think of this stage as consisting of 3 substeps. First, you'll need to extract data from the data sources. For example, you can pull text from websites or other web resources. This is known as web scraping. If you're loading data from documents, you'll need to convert it into the form that's required by your loading component. For most real-world applications, you'll want to automate the extraction process. After you've extracted the text, you load it into the transform pipeline. In this module, you'll learn how to do this with Python libraries, but you can also automate it with Amazon Textract. Finally, you'll need to transform the text into numeric representation for use by your machine learning model. You can extract either individual words, sentences, or entire documents of text. You can also extract text data from images. For example, a media company might want to find all images containing the name of a particular brand or product. Another common use case is extracting data from forms or other types of structured data. For an example, a human resources department might want to find all employee records containing a particular set of skills or experiences. Amazon has several different services you can use to automate your extract, transform, and load processes, which is also known as the ETL process. You can use AWS Glue to discover the structure of a dataset and to automate ETL processes. The diagram here illustrates the major components for an ETL system based on AWS Glue. First, you define a crawler, which discovers metadata based on your data. AWS Glue then stores this metadata in a data catalog. Next, you can use the script AWS Glue creates for automating the ETL process. You can also create your own script. When you have your data transformation script, you can either run it on demand or create a schedule for running it. The script extracts data from your data source, transforms it, and loads it into the data target. You can use AWS Glue for a variety of ETL jobs. Here are some common examples, but there are many more. Some companies have built DevOps pipelines to automate troubleshooting and analyzing customer logs for a web hosting service. Another use case is to automate extracting information from a data lake to inform analytics for online retail. You can extract data from earlier data stores to forecast future sales with AWS Glue. And finally, customers have discovered security threats by analyzing data breaches and web traffic. Thanks for watching. In the next video, you'll learn about AWS Glue and Amazon Data Wrangler.